Welcome back to the Alpha Platform. Did y'all see these debates? The first presidential debate last night. My husband and I watched it, and we knew going in it was going to be a shit show, and sure enough, it was. You know, number one, Donald Trump didn't answer any of the questions. All he did was deflect, lie, backpedal, and pussy pop out of stuff. What scares me the most is this man wasn't even willing to talk openly about January 6th. He wasn't even willing to denounce January 6th. Secondly, he wasn't even willing to commit to the fact that, will you or will you not challenge the results of the 2024 election if you are not reelected? And he couldn't say if he would or not. So it's like, we got one man that's ultra sneaky, and then there on the other hand, we have President Biden. President Biden, you can tell, is a kind man. He's an honest man. He's accountable. He really loves his country, and he really loves the people of this country. You can really get that from him. However, he wasn't so coherent, and you can tell he's older, and it's like, oh, it's time to hang it up, bro. It's time to hang it up. And, speaking about both candidates, both are too old to be holding public office. Both need to be in retirement somewhere, sitting down somewhere. It scares me. It scares me because it's like, we have an older person that could get reelected, and I'm not sure how he's doing cognitively. Then we have this other person who's sneaky, a con artist, a felon, wants to destroy democracy, wants to take away LGBTQ+ rights, same-sex marriage rights, and every other right that he feels like we should not have as people of color, minorities, whatever you want to call it. So it's like we're screwed. And then another issue I want to talk about is specifically what happens if we don't support Ukraine? Like Biden was saying, what happens if we don't support them? Do we honestly feel like Russia's going to stop at conquering Ukraine? What about Poland and all these other countries? And eventually he's going to make his way to the UK. So it's like, if we don't stop him, why would he not go on and try to conquer the rest of Europe? And that's going to drag us into another world war. And it's like, we as American people, we try to we're kind of silly when it comes to this stuff, because we believe, because we have two oceans insulating us, that we can't be touched. And that's just not true. If Russia conquers Europe, China conquers Europe with Russia, what's going to happen is they're going to devise a plan to take America down via entering Mexico, Venezuela, South America, Canada. They're going to find some way to infiltrate and take down America. Just wait. And I just feel like we need to stop being sheep. We need to stop, we need to pay attention to what these candidates are actually saying and the substance and the policies that they're bringing up. Because only one candidate is bringing up policies that the American people actually want. Only one candidate is representing the American values that we actually hold near and dear to our hearts. So it's like, it was crazy. I've never seen anything like it. I don't think we ever will see anything like it, because we have people that are older than FDR. I like to think that, if FDR and all these other older presidents were running and, they were older, the last thing they would do was get on TV to let the world see how old they were. They would have done something radio-wise, everything else but getting on TV. Overall, I'm just really disappointed, because I truly feel like if Trump is reelected, we are going to lose our same-sex marriage rights. I live in Texas, and I feel like this will be one of the states that will outlaw same-sex marriage. Now, the second part of that argument is, can they retroactively go back and revoke the marriage licenses, the people they already issued marriage licenses to? Like my husband and I, we got married in Texas in 2020. So they could do that, but they just will have to go to the government and go through a different process to do it. And I see them doing that. So it's like, we are going to suffer real world consequences behind a Trump re-election. And it's going to be scary. As queer people, it's going to be scary. It's going to be scary. And then this man couldn't even come out and say that Charlottesville was real. We all sat there and watched Charlottesville take place on the news. So how can you say it was not real? It never happened. What is going on out here? We have one side of the country that is completely delusional, doesn't believe in facts. All they believe in is conspiracy theories. The second half of the country is trying to maintain democracy, maintain normalcy, maintain civil rights, maintain gay rights, women's rights, just trying to keep the country progressing forward. And the other part of the country just wants to take the country back. And It's not looking good. It's not looking good. It's hard for me to feel sorry because I feel like this country was built with blood and bone, and we're watching it crumble. We're watching it crumble. And that's why I always tell you guys, like, I'm planning to leave this country. I'm planning to leave because I see the end approaching, and it approaching quickly. And you know, I like to watch a lot of historical documentaries, specifically the Nazi era documentaries, because history is bound to repeat itself. And I want to know when fascism starts to raise its head again, the initial warning signs, and we're already seeing them. I was just telling my husband last night, like, you know, I know you think I'm crazy for always watching this Nazi stuff, but this stuff is going to happen again. Like, this stuff is going to happen again. And they're slowly trying to bring it back with, you know, anti-immigrant rhetoric, anti-gay rhetoric, anti-this rhetoric, nationalism. And then that brings us back to, okay, you can say nationalism is fine, but you have to remember that in a lot of these people's mind, the only Americans in this country are white Americans. The rest of us, they don't consider the rest of us to be Americans at all. So if you had a chance to watch that movie Civil War that came out by A24 Studio, it showed a white man, you know, holding up a group of people with a gun, you know, a firearm, and basically asking them where they're from. And, you know, the journalists were rattling, oh, I'm from Texas, I'm from Tennessee. And one dude said, I'm from China. And the minute he said he's from China, the white dude reminded him he was not an American, and he shot him, point blank period, right then and there. So it's like, I can see this stuff unfolding and people don't want to acknowledge it. You know, it's nothing for the military, for Donald Trump to, for example, establish his own military department, police force, whatever, to start mass deportations, because that's what he talked about wanting to do. Ripping away, you know, you may have a spouse who's an illegal immigrant. You may have children who are illegal immigrants. He never would come out and say, I would not separate working people. I would not separate spouses and children. Although they may be illegal, he would not come out and confirm that he would not do that, which makes me believe that he's willing to do it. He's willing to do it. The second thing they're going to tackle is birthright citizenship. Many Republicans have been saying that that is only for the descendants of slaves, my people, which is true. That was the original reasoning behind the law. So what does it now mean for millions of, you know, future Americans when they can no longer become a citizen by birth? Like, what's going to happen to this country? So things are changing. Things are getting scary. I really want to see Gavin Newsom run in place of Joe Biden. I don't think that's going to happen. Hopefully Joe Biden can pull off a second successful debate in September. But if I had to choose a winner of this debate, it would have been Joe Biden, because at the end of the day, your job there is to answer the questions and be upfront with the American people regarding what policies you want to implement. And the only person who was doing that was Joe Biden. Joe Biden. So pay attention, you guys. Have your eyes open. You may think that the results of this election won't affect you, but it will. It will. As queer people, it will. If they're coming after women and trans rights, they're coming after us next. And after us, what about black rights, black civil rights? Y'all will say, oh, they'll never roll it back. They could easily roll that stuff back and give it back to the states. I don't know why y'all feel like that's not plausible or possible. That could easily take place with this Supreme Court that we have on the bench today. Easily take place, bro. A lot of people in this country are fighting for their way of life. They're fighting to increase their birth rates. They're fighting to maintain a majority status in this country, a monopoly on power and financial resources. They're fighting tooth and nail, and we just have to be vigilant, and not become complacent in our fight against whatever's happening in this country. Because at the end of the day, this is our country. As a black person, I used to feel so like, oh, no, I'm not celebrating Independence Day. Like, I wasn't free, but this country has given me rights. As a black person, they give me rights. As a gay person, they've given me rights. So it's like, I feel torn and conflicted, but I have to support it. I have to support it. I am an American at the end of the day. No matter where I go in this world, they don't see me as an African. They don't see me as a Dominican. They don't see me as anything else but an American. And it's so it's unfortunate because in this country they don't see me as an American either. But my ancestors have been in this country for centuries, building this country up for centuries. My ancestors have been in this country, building this country up longer than Donald Trump's ancestors have been in this country. So it's sad to see what's happening, you guys. But yeah, let me know what you guys thought about the presidential debate. Who you're gonna vote for? Why and why not? It's getting scary out here, bro. It's getting scary. Wolf is back. Wolf Pack. Take care. Peace.